Hi guys, it's Paige here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing all the books I read in 2021. I have loved reading since I was young. I've always loved to read. And in the past few years, it's become a lot more popular. I feel on TikTok people post what books they read and recommendations, which I really love because I always need book recs, so it's been really helpful. But I've always loved reading, and for 2021 my goal was to read 101 books, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. Everyone was like, no way you can read 101 books, and I was like, watch me, I'm gonna do it. And I actually ended up reading 102 books, so I'm very proud of myself. First book I read in 2021 was Good Boy by Sabrina Bowen and Elle Kennedy. Elle Kennedy and Sabrina Bowen are two of my favorite authors, so I had to pick this book up. This is a dual perspective book about this girl and a hockey player. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and that leads me into the next 3 books, which are a companion novels. So the Him, Us, and Epic series, also by Sabrina Bowen and Elle Kennedy. So the sister, the girl in this book, is the brother of one of the characters in Him, and then the other guy in Him is on the same hockey team as the guy in this book. So it's a companion novel. First book, Him, was so good. Also dual perspective, rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend these books so much. The next book I read was Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Fabulous Life. So I wanted to go back to my childhood and read this book. Read the first book in the series. It was not as good as I remembered it. The next book series I read is a trilogy. So it's these 3 books. I also read these when I was younger, but I decided to reread them this year. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, which is also the writer of To All the Boys I Loved Before, which is why I originally picked up this series. Then it's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer. I gave all 3 of these books 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed them, and I would definitely recommend them. So the next book I read was The Kiss Quotient. So this is by Helen Huang, and this book was so good. Definitely one of my favorite reads of 2021. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I would 100% recommend. It was a really, really good book. The next book series I read, there's actually 4 books in the series, but I've only read the first 2. So the first one is Throttled, and the second one is Collided. These are by Lauren Asher. They are the Dirty Air series, and they were so good. I haven't read the last 2, but I'm sure I'll like them. And they're also dual perspective, which is my favorite. So these are both 5 out of 5 stars, and would definitely recommend them. I read was The Almost Boyfriend. I'll just put a picture right here. I think I rated The Almost Boyfriend. Yeah, I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't really remember it. It was a pretty good book. I'm pretty sure I liked it. It was good. The next book I read by the same author was, and I believe her name is Christina Benjamin. The second book I read was The Practice Boyfriend. I rated that 5 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy this book. I also read Stand-In Boyfriend by the same author, and I only gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. Next book series I read was The Perfect First, The Second We Met, The Third Best Thing, and The Fourth Time Charm. And these are all written by Maya Hughes. So then I also read more online books. I read Crank, Craft, Crazy, and Crave, and Cross. So 5 books, and the guys in the series are family, they're cousins, brothers, everything like that, and it's just a really, really good book series. Okay, so the next book I read was Guts by Raina Telgemeier. I'm not exactly sure how you say that. And the next 2 books I read were also in a series, and they're by Sabrina Bowen, and I read them online. So it was The Understatement of the Year and The Shameless Hour. I gave both of those books 5 out of 5 stars. They were really good. The next book I read was for school. I read L'Étranger by Albert Camus. I would not recommend this book at all. I hated this book so much. I gave it 1 star. Next book I read was Roommate by Sabrina Bowen. I really, really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. 100% recommend. It was just a really good book, and I really liked it. I read was Stay by Sabrina Bowen. It is in the WAG series, which is Wife and Girlfriends. For the first book I read was The Good Boy, which is the first book I read of 2021. So this is the second book I read, and it's in this series, and it's the hockey team. The guys are all on the hockey team. I really, really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So then I read The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window by Christy Mosley, and that was a really, really good book. Just another book I read online. I'm pretty sure It was Childhood Friends to Lovers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was. And I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because I'm a sucker for that trope. So good. I then read Playing for Keeps by Kendall Ryan. If I'm being honest, I remember loving this book. Don't remember what it was about. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, so obviously I enjoyed it. And read the Briar U series, which is The Chase, The Dare, The Risk, and The Play. And I gave them all 5 out of 5 stars because I love Elle Kennedy so much. And then I also read The Goal again, which is part of the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and I also gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book I read was Bully by Penelope Douglas. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a bully romance, and I found out that I love bully romance books. I loved this book so much. I read the second book, which is from the guy's perspective, which was Until You. So then I read a bunch of books by Eden Finley, and then I also read some by Eden Finley and Saxon James. So I read Fake Out, Power Plays, Face-Offs, Goal Lines, Rebound, Hat Trick, Blindsided, Deke, and Trick Play, which are all like hockey, sports, romances. I really enjoyed them, loved them so much. They're also romances, and they are so good. I'm pretty sure I rated all of them 5 out of 5 stars, and I would 100% recommend them. And the next book series I read, which was definitely one of my favorite, was by LJ Shen. So it is the Pretty Reckless, Broken Night, and Angry God series. I really enjoyed these books. They were so good. The book Wrong for Me by Megan Brandy. I think I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. I know everyone and their mom read this book this year. It was such a good read. 5 out of 5 stars. I love this book so much. And Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, which is the first in the Devil's Night series, and I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. Then read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I rated this a 1 out of 5. 1 stars out of 5. Did not enjoy this book whatsoever. I read was The Unwritten Law by Eden Finley. I also read that one online, and I believe I gave that one also 5 out of 5 stars. Very good. So then, since I really enjoyed the Pretty Reckless, Broken Night, and Angry God series by LJ Shen, I picked up the Adjoining series, which is actually the parents of the guys in that book. So there's Defy, which is a mini novella, and Vicious, which was really good, and it was Enemies to Lovers, I believe. Very good. I gave these both 5 out of 5 stars. So then I've read my favorite book series. One of. I think my favorite is Off Campus Briar U and the Royal Hearts Academy series. They were just so good. So it's actually a series, as I said. The first one is Cruel Prince, and this is childhood friends to enemies to lovers, and it's dual perspective. Loved it so much. There's romance, there's spice, there's fighting, there's everything. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. The next book in the series was my all-time favorite. This might be my favorite book of all time. It's Ruthless Night. Then read Wicked Princess, which is the third book in the series, which is about the sister. So the first 2 books are about 2 of the brothers, and then this is the sister. And then this one's also about the sister, but this one's dual perspective, and this one is not dual perspective. And then I also rated both these 5 out of 5 stars because they were incredible. The Roommate, I don't have it because I read my friend's copy, and I believe I rated it either 4 or 5. Yeah. Oh, no, I actually gave it 3 stars. Okay. That's awkward. My first ever Coho book, I read Ugly Love. And I'm in love with this book. This is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. 5 out of 5 stars. I read Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, which was a high school book to lovers. It's so good. I love it. It's such a good trope. And I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I read the first book in a series by Talia Hibbert, and it is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Such a good book. Also plus-size heroine, and the sweetest guy you could think of. I then read The Kiss Thief by LJ Shen, which is a very controversial book. I personally enjoyed the book. I do understand why people didn't, or why they were upset because there was no trigger warning. So the next book I read was The Hating Game. I saw this everywhere and anywhere you could see a book. It was all over TikTok. And when I think The Hating Game, I think it's going to be the ultimate enemies to lovers book. But I was wrong, because it's very clear from the beginning that one of the characters is madly in love with the other. I'm not going to say which one, but it just kind of, I think I had my hopes too high going into it because everyone said it was such an amazing book. Like, oh my God, you're gonna love this book. It was so good. And I did enjoy the book. I thought it was really cute. I loved the book, but I don't know. I only gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I was kind of disappointed in it. What we have is People We Met on Vacation by Emily Henry. So this is Friends to Lovers. Everyone thought this was the best romance book of 2021. I enjoyed it. I did. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't that good. Like, I give it 3 out of 5 stars. And I'm disappointed to say that because I know a lot of people give it 5. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you love this book. But it was only a 3 in my books. The next book I read was Beach Read. And I actually annotated my first book of the year. I did this for, I think, 3, and then I gave up because I was like, I don't really like doing this. But I did annotate it. Like, I did enjoy this book a lot more than People We Meet on Vacation. And I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. So the next book I read was They Both Die at the End. I also annotated this book. A lot of people either really liked this book or really didn't. I thought this book was really good. It was heartbreakingly sad, but it was a beautiful book. This book I read was Playing with Fire by LJ Shen. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. It's workplace romance. The book I read was on Wattpad. I read More Under the Surface. I'm not sure exactly what I rated this. Okay, so I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next book I read was All About You. This was also, I read on Wattpad. And there's a second one, which is All About Me, and I also rated it 4 out of 5 stars. So good. I read was A Love-Hate Thing by Whitney D. Grandison. This book was so good, and I rated this 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend it. So then I read Unspoken Vow by Eden Finley, also online, and I believe I gave that 5 out of 5 stars. I then read The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, which is the 5th book in the Off-Campus series. It is all 4 of the characters' mini stories, kind of where they are now, what's happened, 5 stars. I then read Bad Boy Roommate on Wattpad. This book took me like 8 months to read. I gave it 4 to 5 stars because I really did enjoy it. The next book I read was From Lukov with Love by Marina Zapata. She also read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, which I do have, but I haven't read yet. I really did enjoy this book. I read Foes and Cons by Carrie Aarons. I also read this online. This book was so good. I rated it a 4 to 5 stars. I then read Real Players Never Lose and Bad Boys Break Hearts by Michaela Smeltzer. I gave them both 5 out of 5 stars. They were extremely good. I then read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I was disappointed to say the least. I do love that book. I do. I gave it a 4 to 5 stars. It was a good book, but it wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't life-changing or anything like that, and I didn't cry once. I don't know if I'm heartless, but I didn't cry once. And everyone said, you're going to sob, you're going to be heartbroken, you're going to think about this for days. I didn't. I then listened to an audiobook, which was Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This book was good. It was nothing really special. I read Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. And to say I love this book would be an understatement. I adore this book. I do have a physical copy, but it's at school. I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I then read The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. I also have this book, but it's at school. I rated this book, let's see. I rated this book a 3 out of 5. It was a good book. Liked it, but it wasn't anything crazy. I read The Love Hypothesis. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 to 5 stars because it was great, but it wasn't like, oh my god. And then I read Milk and Honey, which is my first ever like poetry book. I rated it 1 out of 5 stars. It was fine. There was 2 poems in the whole book that I enjoyed. I read my first ever graphic novels that I actually like at my age. 4 books. So I read the first one, the second one, and the third one. This is actually the England copy. As you can see, it's slightly different. I also have the 4th one, which was so good. I love it so much. The colors are beautiful. I read 3 novellas. I read the first semester, the spring semester, and the first semester, the second semester, and the spring semester by QB Tyler. Okay, so I rated them 4 out of 5 stars, and then one of them I rated 5. Those are the 102 books I read in 2021. I don't want to end off there, though, because that means the last books I read were novellas. But I'm currently reading From Blood and Ash. It's in my bag somewhere. Don't know exactly where it is, but I've never read fantasy before, but my best friend Audrey convinced me to. So I'm about 20% done. I really do enjoy the book so far. All of the books I've read in 2021, 102 of them. Some of them I did read multiple times, but they're very good. And I would recommend all of these books except for Milk and Honey, L'Étranger, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No offense to them. I'm sure you guys are great writers. I just didn't enjoy those books. So I just wanted to say, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope I gave you guys some recommendations that you'd like. If you want to leave a recommendation down below, that would be much appreciated. My goal for 2022 is 102 books. So let's see if I can do that. Hopefully I can, and hopefully I'll see you in 1 year from now, and I'll be saying, guys, I did it. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to join the family, hit the big red subscribe button down below. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, make sure you turn your post notifications. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.